Hello, fellow robots out there in internet land. I am Sobertron, and welcome back to the next episode of Titancraft Season 6 here on Tango Tech's Patreon server. And as always, guys, if you want to join me and this amazing community, all the information you need is down in the description for Tango Tech's Patreon page. You should absolutely check it out. Join us here on this insane server. People are joining all the time. It is truly insane how deep we are into this current season, and there's just new people joining pretty much every day, especially on the weekends. We get like 5-6 new guys every single weekend. It is truly nuts and fantastic at the same time. It's great showing new people the server and all the amazing things that have happened thus far in the season. But guys, I needed to address something before we get into today's episode. I might sound a little weird. I'm not in my normal recording location. I am actually not at my residence. Let's call it that right now. I'm actually in a foreign country. I've been here for about 3 weeks now. I had to do 2 weeks in quarantine as soon as I got here, and I'm here for work. I'm here for work until, the middle of the summer. So my recordings will probably still come out on a decent schedule normally. Hopefully I can still get one out every Sunday, but there might be times where I don't, so please bear with me while I'm over here. And it's also caused some other things. I'm not in my normal space. My normal room I record in is quite small, and it prevents a lot of echoing. This room I'm in right now is not. It is not conducive for it. So there might be a little bit of sound issue that I will try to work out in the coming episodes. But like I said, just bear with me until I can get back onto a normal schedule like I've been on, like I said. And again, apologies if there's any audio quality issues that were not there in the past. But that being said, Kash and I have still been doing stuff off camera. You've seen a couple of them here and here, and here. We built a doorway. We built an entranceway into our base. What we did was we just kind of replicated half of this gateway here and put it here. I wanted a little hallway to separate the door from the ring itself. And this was the easiest thing to do, and it matches up nicely. And then we've done this door out here, and it's okay. It's not the best. It's not mine and Kash's prime work. We were playing with it for a couple hours, and we just couldn't figure out what we liked. So this is what we're going with for now. This will probably change. One thing I was discussing with Kash yesterday, actually, was maybe we're looking at this wrong. Maybe it's not 2 doors. Maybe we just have one big door that has a single hinge. And that way we can angle it out, and that way we can actually get inside this place. Because right now we're kind of cheating our way in and going in through the side. So we got to connect all that up and actually finalize that door idea. But until we do, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. Other things, Kash has been busy making little shops and things. So this is like a cloth or clothing shop. It's really cool, really tight. I love it. And it's got a little apartment up here for the owner to sleep and do a little bit of cooking and, not watch TV because they're dwarves and they don't have TV, I guess. I don't know. There's a couple other little ones that she's done over here as well. There's a tavern over here, which I really love. So what we want to do is we want to have multiple taverns in these. Each zombie? I didn't know that was there. Multiple taverns in this place. Maybe one in every district. So this is the blue tavern. Need to add a couple chairs and things in here, but I think it turned out well. For each of these rooms is going to have a really weird shape to them, which is great and fantastic. But it's going to cause some design issues or struggles, not necessarily issues. And then in talking with Kash about this one, this is kind of like a little farmer's market type thing, like little barrels of fruit. Maybe these are blueberries, maybe some lemons, I don't know, cherries, strawberries, something like that. So I really love what she's done in here. I don't think she's done in here yet. I think she has a couple more things she wants to do, especially with that back wall, because this actually connects up to our, main domed room in here. One other thing that me and her did, which took a little bit of time, was we dug out a nice big space for where our mine's going to go. I kept playing with the positioning and size of this room. It's fairly big. It's kind of a rectangle right now. I wanted it to be a square, but I realized I wanted this hallway that's going to be here to be a bit longer, so that's why there's 10 extra blocks dug all the way down to bedrock on either side of this little platform. But if it was a square from here to the other side, it's like a 51 by 51 hole all the way down to bedrock. And this is where our mine is eventually going to go. I've got a couple of really cool ideas in store for this space. but we're not going to be working on that today. And actually, I'm not even ready to start working on our project yet. The other thing that I've been doing has been AFKing quite a bit at our sheep farm. So let me head over there and I'll show you the fruits of my, not really labor, because it's not really laborious. I just kind of got to stand there and let the redstone do its thing. So here we are back in our storage room for our sheep farm, and I have been doing a lot of AFKing. Pretty much, I wasn't able to record all that much after I finished this room off, so I was doing all those other minor tasks. And I didn't mention, I've done some above rating too, which is why those shears are on that wall. So the above gives you access to some unique things that aren't otherwise available in vanilla Minecraft. So like my armor has protection 5 on it on my boots, pants, and I think I have fire protection 5, yeah, on my boots. And then I've actually got a set of Unbreaking 4 Elytra, which are very, very nice to have. But these shears I got, and initially I was a little bit miffed about it. I didn't know what I was going to do with them, but then I realized this would actually come in super handy in our wool farm. So what has happened was a group of people have hired me, not necessarily hired me because I think I'm doing it for free. I don't think we ever agreed on a price, but they needed a ton of white wool. So I re-dyed all of our sheep white, and I've got 6 double chests here. I'm going to keep a bit of it, but I'm going to give all 5 of these to them. And then they came at me and said, can you give us some green too? So that's what I'm working on right now. It's just AFKing to get some green wool. But one thing that was a bit of a pain was, where am I going to store all these dyes to re-dye our sheep? And that's where these shears come in handy. So these shears have a special enchant on them called Extract. And Extract does different things on different tools. When it comes to shears, you can use them on wool to get dye back, which is kind of awesome. So now I don't need to worry about storing dyes anywhere to re-dye my sheep. I just need to have these shears around, and whenever I need to re-dye them, there it is, good to go. So I'm going to grab all this white wool that I'm going to deliver to this group of people. I asked if I could do a little bit of recording at their place because it's really cool and awesome, but they don't want to reveal it quite yet. So that's going to have to wait. So I'm going to drop this off. I'm going to show people in the video, though, where they need to go if they want to see this, but I highly advise you ask this group of individuals before visiting, just so you know, so they know that you're coming by and they can possibly give you a tour on what's going on. But I will show you where it is. But like I said, if you're on the server and you're watching this, please contact these people before dropping on by, because it's a little bit rude just to show up at somebody's place unannounced. I mean, would you want somebody just walking into your house unannounced? No, you don't want that. So let me get all this together, and I'm going to drop it off for them, and I will be with you guys shortly. So I've arrived at the location of this massive, insane build where I'm going to drop off this wool at, and it should look very familiar if you watch my episodes from the past. This is actually where our public end portal and public trading hall is, but I'm gonna do a little bit ignoring of that sign because I need to drop off a delivery. So I'm sure it's okay if I come up here, and I've been up here before, so it's fine. So this is their storage room, and I have to be careful not to look up because you will see kind of spoiler things that they don't want me to show. But this is their storage room for where they're building this massive, massive project. And just to give you an idea of how big this place is, this is their kind of bulk storage. So they're digging out and clearing a lot of water. All of those shulkers, all of them are filled with stone. That's how much area they are digging out right now. And then they've got granite, diorite, andesite, dirt, all the crazy, insane stuff. And everything is being just loaded into shulker boxes. This is crazy, insane contraption up there, which looks fantastic. And yeah, lots and lots of things are going on here. So I think I'm just going to leave this wool right here for them to get. That way they can see it right away. I do want to say this about this project, guys. If you are on the server and you haven't seen it yet, it is pretty fantastic. So if the build crew is nice, just contact one of them and ask them to have a little look around. They might even give you a little tour. Let's see, white wool from Sober. Enjoy. Smiley face. So hopefully that does them well. They're going to need a lot of it. I will say this, not to give too many spoilers away, but it's a giant white city that is awaiting the return of its king. Is that too much? I think that's not too much. But let me head back to base and we'll get started on our, what we're going to work on today for this episode. So here we are back at base, and what I'm going to do today is not a new project, but I'm going to revisit a project that we did many, many episodes. One of the very first projects of this season of Titancraft. And let me explain a little bit. So we wanted to use a lot of Blackstone in this place, right? It's a new block. It looks really cool. And since we've been using it, we've gotten better and better at integrating it, making it look just amazing and fantastic. Um, so most of our rooms look really, really good. There is one room that Kash and I just have not been keen on since the beginning, and that's our very first room we had in here, being our furnace, XP farm. Uh, Initially, I thought it looked great, using all the blackstone and the basalt and the lava drippies. I thought it looked good. It does not. It looks horrible. This room is the bane of my existence, and I think there's a couple problems with it. Um, it's quite a big room, but because of the way the furnaces are, you have very little give with how you organize things. And I think the ceiling is way too low. I still love the idea of having these arches in here, but same thing, ceiling's too low, so the arches just look a little weird. Now, since we've finished a lot of stuff up top, you can clearly see how much room I actually have to play with here. I can raise this ceiling up another 10 or so blocks, which will make this space down here look oh so much better. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. We are going to totally revamp this room. I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but I know the first step is tearing all of this out. So I'm going to tear all this stuff out. It's going to be, naked redstone again, and I'll come back. Hopefully Kash is online by then, and me and her can come up with a plan to make this room look a ton better than it currently does. Bye-bye, Lava Fall. I will miss you. Maybe we can keep you. I don't know. We'll see what happens. This place is looking very, very different with everything gone now. I haven't seen it this naked since I want to say episode 4 or 5. Not 100% sure. It's been a long time since I just kind of saw all this. I did just put up some stone walls. What I'm thinking about doing is, like I always do, using stone as a base layer, and then I'll replace it later on. But I wanted to do something a little bit different. Rather than trying to build it and get the shape, I thought about building out like flat walls like that. So something like this, and I'm just gonna do that all the way around this room, and then I'll start ending up adding in like textured bits like that. That way, when I come back through and replace the blocks, I can then go into the back, and anything that I see as stone, I can just choppy it down. I'm not sure what I'm gonna go with here right now. I do notice that there's this nice like 3 kind of diagonal bit here, which I'll probably end up using somehow. I do like the idea of arches, but what I'm thinking this time around is not going with like initially when I did this room the first time, I thought of it as like a natural cave that they came into, like the dwarfs of our non-mountain base up there came in here and they just kind of polished up the walls a little bit and used the natural space. I'm doing like a complete 180 on this now. I'm thinking I want this to be completely man-made looking. So a lot of this floor is going to go away. I probably would have taken it out, but I don't feel like breaking all the glass and then filling in all the lava right now. I'm a little bit lazy. I'm sorry, it happens. But we'll get there eventually in today's episode. But yeah, I'm going to build up these walls, probably another 6 or 8, somewhere in there, blocks up, and make it a nice big boxy room, and then I'm going to come in and start doing the, decorative texture bits. I do want, if I can work a diagonal arch from, corner to corner to the center, I will absolutely try to do that. I'm not sure if my skills are up to it today, but we'll see. And Cash should be logging in shortly, so hopefully I have this done, and we can actually just start building. This glass and this ice is going to be a little bit of a pain. I am perfectly fine replacing the glass with other blocks. It's just there to keep the water in. The ice, not so much. I like it, just the items just skirting along it. I could replace it because it is 100% water stream. Really, the only 2 I couldn't replace really is that one there and that one there, anywhere where there's a fence gate. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think the ice is going to stay, and I'll just have to kind of bring the room in at those levels. But we'll see what happens. I'll be back with you guys in a little bit once the shape of the room is completely done. So Cash was here just a moment ago, but the server decided to restart, and she went AFK about a minute before that happened. But let me show you what I've done and explain to you why I'm gonna tear it all out. So my idea was to do these kind of cornery, diagonal pillars that arched up. So in idea I had in my head, it looked great, and then when I actually built the thing, it just looks like trash. It's just way too symmetrical. I know it's going to end up being symmetrical, but I think what I was doing, where I was like stepping it out and increasing the length each time, it just created this diamond shape in the middle, and I hate it. I honestly hate it. And this is like almost 2 shulkers worth of stone that I've placed down here. So I'm going to tear most of this out. Cash has started kind of doing something here, and I'm liking it. It's looking much more better than this, and also what we had previously in here. But actually, somebody on the server needs my help with something. They heard that I had made somebody a bad omen farm. That's the best way I can describe it. You take an outpost, you just make it a little bit better to get guard captains so you can do raids and things. So I'm going to head over there, see if I can help them out, and maybe show you guys along the way. Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen. It's a surprise to all of us. So it turns out not all that much was needed to fix that bad omen farm. Just a little bit more like mob proofing outside. Everything else looked good, so I decided not to record it. It was really quick and easy. But I have done a bit more work here, and let me just show it to you guys. So it's a little bit outside my comfort zone, and it's not 100% done yet. So like I talked about previously, I wanted these kind of diagonal, almost pillory kind of columny things to come up towards the middle. Not sure if that's what the center's going to look like at this point. I actually don't think it's going to look that way. I just needed something up there to get things going. But once we did that, I started adding in so I did it all in stone, and then I started adding in some diorite because I want to try to keep this room symmetrical. So adding in the diorite helps me just make sure I'm not removing the wrong stone blocks later on. And then I went through, I actually used granite at first to do these kind of curved archways that are kind of at an angle. I don't know how else to say it. It's like if there was a circle that was kind of running through this whole thing at a diagonal and then coming back up and around. And I did that on all 4 sides, and I thought it looked pretty cool. And it's 100% unlike anything I've ever built before. But then what I'm doing now is I came through, and what I want to try to do is to kind of connect up this arch here, this bit of this arch, and the bit of this arch here inside of itself. I don't know how else to describe it. So it's almost like it's a cave, but also at the same time, it's 100% not a cave. And all these blocks right now are temporary. I'm not even sure if we're going to go with the black stone bricks here. It just helped me move on, and like very distinguishable blocks, very distinguishable areas of this build. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish doing this bit here and do it on all 4 sides, and then this under bit here. Similar thing is going to happen here to where I'm going to try to connect up this kind of arch to this other kind of arch. I don't know how else to say it, guys. I'm sorry. But I have a different idea for what to do kind of up top here. Similar, but different at the same time. Rather than coming kind of in, I want this to kind of bubble up and out. So this might be raised up a bit more. It's looking a little weird because of all the stuff I did initially, like all that stone right there. I might just tear it out so I have a more blank canvas. By blank, I mean nothing. There'll be nothing there. But I'm rambling now. It's really hard for me to describe what I really want to do here. So let me get all these temporary blocks in first. Hopefully it looks as cool as I think it will in my head. I mean, granted, I thought doing that stuff earlier would look cool, and then it looked like garbage, which is why we're doing this now. So I'm going to finish doing this, get the cash seal of approval. We are on crazy time zone differences like I described earlier. So it's probably going to be tomorrow my time when I come back, and hopefully she's good with it, and we can move on and figure out what we're going to do next and actually make this place look decent.
Good news, everybody. I fixed my audio. I think I sound a lot better. Not that I sound good at all, because I think I sound like garbage. But it's all better. You don't get any more of that echoey stuff, and hopefully you're not hearing all the clicky like I was in the last, 10 clips or whatever. But yeah, so audio's fixed. Simple OBS settings that I neglected to do, when I came overseas for my work, and things got messed up, for lack of a better term, but it's all fixed now. But in the meantime, since last clip, I put a little bit of green down, did a little bit of work on the walls, and then I said, Cash, let's try to do this. And I logged off for the night, and she logged back in, or she logged in, and green everywhere, literally everywhere. So she just went ahead and plastered it. Now, I love the way the green and the blackstone look together. That's why we did it kind of up top in our gateway. That's why we chose it as a color. And it makes sense because, cactus is being, burned constantly here. But I want to try to do something more like this. This is what I just worked on. I haven't done it on any of the other four corners yet, but I like just a little bit of green poking through everywhere. The other thing I want to work on is kind of smoothing things out. So you can see on this side it's very blocky. On this side I kind of did a little gradual arch, and I want to work more of that in. I think if we do have it too blocky, it's going to be weird. So like this spot here I don't like at all, so I think I wanted to actually place some stairs there. So let's see if we do that. Oh, more green poking through. I like it. Like, just kind of doing more arches everywhere. Let's see, that there? Yeah, see, I like that a ton better than the blockiness. But I kind of don't want to do that right now, because it's going to be very difficult to mimic all of this on the other four corners. I like doing this kind of in layers, so I'm going to replicate this first before I do all those nice smooth lines and everything. I think it'll end up looking really cool. But yeah, I need to reduce that out a little bit and kind of figure out how I'm going to integrate some blackstone to cover all that up. I also had an idea for maybe this hanging bit here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not, but really, I don't really care about that. I care about the floor, because I have no idea what I'm doing here. You can see I've torn it out since the last clip, and I've had to put torches down everywhere. So everywhere is good. I think even over here is like where you get the really dark spots, and it's still staying above light level 7. Oh, wrong buttons. There. Um, but I don't know how to light this place. That's why I had the lava in here before, because it made sense and there was some lights given off by it. So I got to figure out a floor pattern for here too. But let's one step at a time. I always get ahead of myself. Let me finish doing these corner bits, and let me try to reduce this down and cover it up a little bit with blackstone. And then we'll worry about this. Maybe Cash will have some ideas that I have yet to think of. So give me a couple hours and I'll be back, and hopefully this place will be looking just that much more complete. Now, I would say these ceilings are probably around like 96% done. There's a couple spots that I'm just not sure what to do with. Namely, wherever you see kind of a fully exposed bit of green, lime green concrete there and there, I can't figure out what to do with them. So I think I'm just going to leave it for now and come back at a later date. There's other things like maybe where these just regular blackstone blocks are. I don't know. I think I can make that look a little bit better. But I've been looking at this for so long that it's making my head hurt. It's really making my head hurt. Just trying to get all four of these kind of corner bits the same took a very long time. I actually just placed a block right up there right before I started recording because I realized I had missed it. But now it's time to tackle the floor. So Cash came through and put lava up in all of these bits, and I really love it. And I thought I would continue doing that for two reasons. One, I just like the way the lava looks, and two, it gives me the light sources in this room that I need. So we have to go with some kind of light source in the floor, or we go with bottom slabs. Cash had the idea of going with bottom slabs, but I wanted to try this out first just to see what would happen. And I've been looking back at our kind of furnace smelter room, and I kind of like what we did in there with the lava channels and stairs and basalt mostly. But even with these lava sources everywhere, there's one spot, all these glasses mark where there's light level 7. So what I think I'm going to do, and this is going to make Cash very angry, is I think I'm going to put a lava block right there. And then I'm going to surround it with stairs. So there's going to be an open bit of lava here that Cash is just gonna kind of have to deal with. Whoa, multiple block placement. Nice. So yeah, right there, if I put a lava source right there, it should work. Actually, let's try it out. I've got some lava here. Where is it? There it is. I've been blowing through it, just placing these little bits in. I've got about 18 more buckets in storage, but I'm going to have to make a little trip to the nether in a bit to get more. I'm not sure how I feel about that, though. It could be cool. I don't know. It's more than just that one spot. If it was just one spot, I would probably just find a way to put some glass there or something. But because it's actually more of these, I don't know what to do. It's really racking my brain. I guess I could place like stairs in those other spots, which would be, I think, here and here. So if we did something, and I'm out of stairs. Fantastic. Always happens. Let's see. Do I have any more? Those are just regular blackstone. Those are polished. Yeah, this place is becoming a mess very quickly. Let's go ahead and make one really fast just to see. I think those are the only spots where I have light level 7. So if I do something like that, it should end up working out. And then doing something else on the floor there. I mean, if I'm going to do that, I might as well just do there and there. Yeah, see, that could look cool. And then doing something else kind of with the rest of this floor. I think that would solve all of our problems with light levels in this area. Um, but wait. There's that one lava source now. Dang it! Ah! Sad face. Do I have any glass on me? Yeah, there we go. But now it looks so dark. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. I just don't. It's racking my brain. It hurts. It hurts so bad. So I don't know. I'm gonna do something. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be a surprise to both of us. But I'll come back, wrap up this episode, and we'll all see together what I've done with this floor. Okay, guys, it's time to wrap things up. I just looked at the time, and I've got about 7 hours until I want to release this video. So, yeah, we're done for today. Floor-wise, though, I did something, like I said, very similar to, or at least inspired by what we did in our super smelter kind of storagey room. Uh, I love the polished basalt on the floor in that kind of horizontal angle. I think it looks really good up against the black stone bricks and the polished stairs. I think it looks great. These little corner bits were giving us a little bit of issue. I think we were trying to go way too complex on them, and we ultimately just simplified things up. And then one thing that Cash added in here was these lava sources actually used to be lime green concrete, but now it lines up perfectly with that column I showed you in the last clip. So it's almost like the lava's flowing down and then down into the floor. I think it turned out really good. And one thing I neglected to mention last time, so if you remember way back to the beginning of this episode, there was a nice big lava fall over here that I used all the time to get rid of all of the green dye that I pull out of these things. But now, yeah, those corner bits that are, you can burn your butt in them a little bit, but I can use those to dispose of all the excess green dye that I get out of this place, and I think it turned out really well. I was working on the hallway when I noticed the time, so yeah, things are not done in here, but I'm liking what's happening in here too, especially what I did with these stairs here. I just love them. But sadly, I have to change some design stuff in the back here. That lava there that's giving us some light in this hallway burned some of my composters. So I need to replace those with cauldrons that won't burn up in that horrible, horrible fire. But that's all I got today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm really happy that we changed this room up. It just looks so much bigger than it did before. That getting rid of that pillar in the middle was absolutely needed. And yeah, things changed a lot in here. But until next time, you guys have a good one.